Hey, Mike Kelly here. I want to make a quick video about creating call scripts and workflow in your office. And what we've seen in a lot of very successful service companies is that the business owner or the management team takes the time to actually create a flow chart with different call scripts to standardize their marketing and communication process. So a real basic example of this success workflow is creating the ability to see if we have, let's just say someone comes from a Facebook Messenger bot. And as they came in from your Facebook Messenger bot, no matter lawn care, home cleaning, pest control, whatever the service is, there's certain information that we hopefully have gained on the Facebook Messenger bot. So we've got their name, obviously. Now, hopefully we're going to get their phone number, but depending how far they get into that marketing funnel, we may not have a phone number, but we're going to be looking at it. The way we've dialed that out is a hot lead with a phone number, a hot lead with a phone and an email, or a hot lead with just the connection in a product like ManyChat. So we can have a messenger conversation one-on-one, not automated, but through a workflow. And some of it up in the first 24 hours can be automated. But the idea here is if we have a hot lead coming in with a phone, email, and obviously Messenger, those are different conversations. So the first thing we would probably suggest is if they came in through Facebook Messenger and we have their phone number, somebody's going to reach out in the first 24 hours to make a phone call. Now you've kind of got a decision diamond there. If they picked up the phone, this would happen. If they didn't pick up the phone, this would happen. So let's say best case scenario, we've got their phone number, we make a call, they pick up. We are trying to book a estimate or a sales call, and through that process, if we actually do submit an estimate, there's an automated follow-up. But what if we get them on the phone and they were just kind of shopping the bot and they weren't as hot as we thought, and maybe they're not a good fit? So we need to have a sequence that goes through if they're not a good fit for maybe a long-term nurture, or maybe they're interested but just not ready to commit and shop you there at that point. So you've got 4 or 5 different things that can happen just off that lead that has a phone number. Now, what if we called and left the voicemail? So what I'm going to recommend is another flow below that is an automated email that's triggered after you leave the voicemail. And the email subject line is something as simple as I just left you a voicemail with a follow-up saying, hey, we'd be interested to get you that estimate. I left you the voicemail, and this is how I can be contacted. And maybe if you're a service business that provides on-site estimates, it's linked to an on-site or online calendar such as Calendly or Appointment Core. But the idea is we really want to have different scripts, because the conversation I'm going to have on a live phone call is going to be significantly different than the call script that I'm leaving on a voicemail. So the purpose of today's video is really dial out all the different ways that you can be communicating with a lead. And I think that it should be a hot lead, warm lead, or cold lead. So our cold lead is just probably not somebody who's not ready to buy right now, maybe is not a good fit yet. So we're going to throw them into a 12-month long-term nurture via email or messenger or whatever communication channel you are. And then your warm and hot leads, those are more qualified leads. So obviously if we have a phone number, we want to reach out. But if we don't have a phone number, we have messenger and email, hopefully. So we're going to have kind of the same decision diamond. How do we handle the communication via email? How long does it go? So is it 2 or 3 emails over 2 days each? And then if they engage to request an estimate, they go to the top option. And if they don't engage, we kick them down into that long-term nurture. So we educate them, and hopefully through reciprocity, when they're ready to buy, they reach back out to us. But whole idea is we want to create a workflow on a flow chart, something like Lucidchart or Google Drawing. And then after you build that out, you build a systematic automated process around that. And after you've build out each email and call script, you write out the call script and standardize it and train to those call scripts. So we can standardize that marketing process, whether it's the business owner or someone in the office or someone halfway around the world as a virtual assistant. First thing you want to do, though, is define whether they're warm, hot, or cold, and then what contact information do we have? So do we have a cell phone? Do we have an email? If we have none of those, in the example like Facebook Messenger, we have a contact of Messenger. And then think about all the different ways we would communicate that is appropriate for that time in the customer life cycle based on them being pre-qualified, hot, warm, and cold. And then dial in the conversation of what if we do have a phone number, they don't answer, how do we continue that conversation offline via text or email? So hopefully that video was helpful. But a lot of people want to know, now that I've got some folks in Facebook Messenger, how do I actually go out and prime that pipeline in that sales funnel for appropriate communication in your service business as well.